Howdy folks, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we're going to be tackling the question of what happens if you block all of Johnson's Scarab beams on the last level of Halo 2, The Great Journey. So, this is actually something that I myself, and probably a lot of people have actually messed around with back in the original Halo 2 days. I'm sure everyone has tried to park a Banshee or something in front of the door or something just to block Johnson's beam to see what happens. But as you all probably know, Johnson will fire on the Banshee anyways, and it'll just, blow right through your vehicle and blow the door up. But what if we do manage to actually block all his beams and prevent the beams from touching the door? But before we get into that, I want to first announce an awesome giveaway from my sponsor Instagaming, where you can win any game of your choice. You can find a link for this giveaway in the description below. So if you want to win the game of your choice, any game at all really, then all you have to do is click on the link below and enter the game you would like to win. You can also click some of the additional blue buttons for more chances to win as well. But that's it. That's all you have to do. And after doing all that, you're entered in the contest to win the game of your choice. But make sure to act fast because this giveaway is for this month only. Alright, so first off, I'm going to let you guys listen to what happens if you try to block his beams without mods, the normal way, what he would say.
Stay clear of the door. You trying to get killed? Give me some room. What? Do I have to spell it out for you? Move! Listen, I'm gonna count to 3. 1, 2. Good, now stay put. Yeah, that's real funny. I'm still shooting.
Alright, so there you go. That's basically what happens if you mess with Johnson and just, simply get in the way of his shot and try to block it. But as you know, he still fires anyways, and the shot goes pretty much right through you. It's a Scarab beam, so it completely destroys you and destroys the door and everything. So, to try to block his shots, we need something else that can, withstand a Scarab beam. And with that in mind, use a very simple mod so that my plasma rifle here will spawn these shield doors. These are the shield doors used earlier in the mission to contain, in that prison part, where the hunters and the elites are in their cells. These are the cell doors, essentially. And these shield doors are actually pretty strong. They can actually withstand quite a lot. But, just to be on the safe side, I spawned, a lot of them. And, just to make sure, no small part of the Scarab beam or splash damage gets through or anything like that, I encircled the entire, entrance here with shield doors, and I made extra layers and increased the height of them as well. Well, actually, a second layer up top, so just to be on the safe side. So hopefully this will be able to block all the Scarab beams from Johnson, because these shield doors, they're not indestructible. As you know, they can be broken. You're supposed to break them later earlier in the mission to free all the captured enemies or allies, and the only thing that can pass through them, interestingly, is actually the Banshee. I'm not sure why the Banshee can just simply pass through them, but it can. But it shots like the Banshee bomb or the regular plasma cannons on the Banshee. Those can't pass through. Those get totally blocked by the shield doors. All right, so now that everything is in place, I'm gonna put a Banshee in front as well, just so we know whether the beams actually make it through or not. Because if the Scarab beams do make it through, it will completely destroy that Banshee I just put in front. So that's how we'll know. Because who knows? Sometimes it may block the beam, but the actual damage effect still goes through. That's how the train on that one terminal map on in multiplayer actually works. The train, even if you stop the train or derail it or whatever, it has an invisible kill barrier that actually still goes on a normal path. But anyways, now that Johnson's here, so first of all, he will still say his lines from before, telling you to get out of the way and then stuff like that, and he'll count down. But shortly after that is when he'll fire, and then we will see what happens. But it's actually pretty funny, and before this video, I actually didn't know Johnson had those extra lines, where he's good, stay put, or if you fly back right away, he'll say haha, I'm still firing. I actually never knew that existed. But anyways, so here he is firing his beam, and it does seem like, yeah, the shields actually do manage to block the beams. Although the effect seems to somewhat penetrate it, but the actual beam itself, the damage and everything, splash damage, does not get through. Although some of the shields were destroyed. I don't know if you could tell, but some of them were. And as you can see here, after a certain amount of shots, even though they don't break through, the door just vanishes. There's no explosion. It just went poof. If you want to go back and play in slow motion, feel free to. You can see like the door literally just vanishes, and then the whole the text in the bottom right for the mission start or whatever, the objective shows up. But yeah, so it seems like the door is scripted to be destroyed. But just to be on a safe side, just to be thorough, I thought maybe the trigger is if his beam gets kind of close enough to the door where it'll trigger the door, being destroyed. So I decided to block his shots right at the source so that they don't reach the door. And as you can see at this point, the shields do still work and are very effective at blocking his shots. Although, again, I don't know if you could tell, it did destroy a lot more shield doors this time around. However, despite this, it would seem as if the door does still blow up. And actually this time from a distance, without anything blocking it, like blocking the door directly at the front, the door actually does explode this time. Like you do see the explosion effect. Whereas earlier, with the shield doors blocking the shots closer to the door, there was no explosion effect. But despite the explosion effect, it wasn't a real explosion. It was just an effect. Like the Banshee I parked in front is still there and unscathed. It's perfectly fine. So it's still a fake explosion, and the door still just pretty much goes poof. But for some reason, there's a difference where I block it. If I block it closer to the door, no explosion, door still goes poof. And if I block it closer to the source, door does explode and goes poof as well. But yeah, so overall, nothing happens if you block Johnson's beams. The door is literally scripted to open one way or another, depending on when you block his beams. But anyways, hopefully you guys found this to be interesting, and if you did enjoy this video, as always, make sure to leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments, and if there's something to check out or look into, just let me know. And other than that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys!